Have you ever been told that fertilization is just a race? Millions of sperm swimming as fast as they can, and the first one that reaches the egg wins? That's the story most of us learned in school, and honestly, it sounds simple, dramatic, and easy to understand. But what if I told you that this story is not really true? What if fertilization is not a race at all, and instead, it's more like a very careful selection process? Almost like the egg is choosing the right partner, instead of just accepting whoever arrives first. Today we're going to talk about something fascinating, something that happens at the very beginning of human life, something that most people think they understand but actually don't. Fertilization is not about speed, it's about timing, chemistry, communication, and a surprising amount of decision-making happening at a microscopic level inside the body. When most people imagine fertilization, they picture millions of sperm cells rushing forward like runners in a marathon, all trying to reach the finish line. The egg is usually shown as passive, just waiting for the winner. But modern science tells us a completely different story. The egg is not passive at all, and the sperm are not just racing blindly. There is a process happening that scientists sometimes describe as selective interaction, and in simple words, you could call it selective dating. Not every sperm is allowed in, not every sperm even gets close, and the egg and the female body play a much bigger role than most people realize. Let's start from the very beginning, because understanding this process makes it even more amazing. When fertilization happens, it usually starts with millions of sperm entering the female reproductive tract. But here's the first surprise. Even though millions enter, almost all of them will never get anywhere near the egg. The environment inside the body is not easy to survive in. It is designed to protect, to filter, and to make sure that only the healthiest sperm continue the journey. Many sperm stop moving very early, some go in the wrong direction, and others simply don't have the strength to keep going. This means that from the very first moment, the body is already selecting. It's not about who swims the fastest for a few seconds. It's about who can survive the entire journey. Think of it less like a sprint and more like a long, difficult obstacle course. Only the sperm that are strong, healthy, and moving in the right way can keep going. This alone shows that fertilization is not random. The body is already making sure that only the best candidates even get close to the egg. Now here comes another interesting part that most people don't know. The female reproductive system is not just a passive path. It actually helps guide the sperm, but not all sperm in the same way. Research has shown that chemical signals released near the egg can attract certain sperm more than others. Scientists call this chemical attraction, but in simple language, it's almost like the egg is sending signals saying, "This way, come here," but only to the ones that respond correctly. This is where the idea of selective dating starts to make sense. Not every sperm reacts the same way to these signals. Some respond strongly, some weakly, and some not at all. That means the egg and the surrounding environment are not just waiting for the first sperm to arrive. They are influencing which sperm even gets the chance to arrive. Another thing that makes this process even more fascinating is timing. Fertilization only works if everything happens at the right moment. The egg does not stay ready forever, and sperm cannot survive forever either. If the timing is wrong, fertilization will not happen, no matter how many sperm are present. This shows that success is not about speed alone. It's about being in the right place at the right time, with the right conditions. As the sperm get closer to the egg, the selection becomes even more strict. The egg is surrounded by protective layers, and these layers are not easy to pass through. Only sperm with the right structure and the right chemical signals can attach properly. If the sperm cannot attach correctly, it cannot go any further. This means the egg is not just accepting whoever arrives first. It is testing, checking, and allowing only certain sperm to continue. Scientists have discovered that proteins on the surface of the sperm and proteins on the surface of the egg must match in a very specific way. If they don't match, fertilization cannot happen. This is another reason why fertilization is not a race. Even if a sperm reaches the egg first, it still might not be the one that gets in. The egg may allow a different sperm that arrives later, but has the better match. This idea changes the way we think about the beginning of life. Instead of a random competition, it becomes a process of selection and compatibility. It's almost like the egg is looking for the best possible partner to create a healthy new life. This doesn't mean the egg is thinking, of course, but the biological process works in a way that leads to the same result. The healthiest combination has the best chance of success. Another amazing part of fertilization is what happens the moment one sperm finally enters the egg. As soon as that happens, the egg changes instantly. Its outer layer becomes harder, and it blocks all other sperm from getting in. This is called the block to polyspermy, and it's very important. If more than one sperm enters, the embryo cannot develop normally. So the egg has a built-in system to make sure that once the right sperm gets in, the door closes immediately. Think about how precise this is. Millions of sperm start the journey. Only a few get close. Only one is allowed in. And the moment that happens, everything changes. This is not chaos. This is a highly controlled process. Every step has a purpose, and every step increases the chances of creating a healthy embryo. Many people are surprised to learn that the female body may even influence which sperm succeed based on genetic compatibility. Some studies suggest that certain combinations of genes work better together, and the body may respond differently depending on the match. This means fertilization might not just be about healthy sperm, but about the right sperm for that particular egg. Again, this sounds a lot like selective dating rather than a race. This also explains why fertilization does not always happen even when everything seems normal. Sometimes, sperm are healthy, the egg is healthy, but the compatibility is not perfect. The body may not allow fertilization to occur easily in those cases. This can be frustrating for people trying to conceive, but it also shows how careful the process really is. The body is trying to create the best possible start for a new life. Another thing that people often misunderstand is how long the journey actually is for the sperm. In movies and diagrams, it looks quick and easy, but in reality, it takes time, and the path is not straight. The sperm must move through different environments, each with its own challenges. Some areas are more acidic, some have thick fluid, and some require very precise movement. Only sperm with the right shape and energy can keep going. Even the movement of the sperm is part of the selection. Sperm do not all swim the same way. Some move in straight lines, some move in circles, and some barely move at all. The ones that move efficiently have a better chance of reaching the egg. But again, reaching the egg is not enough. They still have to pass the final tests. When people hear all of this, they often realize that fertilization is much more complex and much more amazing than they ever thought. It's not just a moment, it's a process. It's not just speed, it's survival, communication, compatibility, and perfect timing. Every step is designed to increase the chances of creating a healthy embryo. And this is why scientists sometimes say fertilization is not a race. It's more like a series of interviews. Many candidates start, only a few qualify, and only one is chosen. The egg is not passive, the female body is not passive, and even the sperm are not all equal. Each one is different, and the process makes sure that only the one that fits best completes the journey. Understanding this also changes the way we think about health and fertility. Lifestyle, nutrition, stress, and overall health can affect sperm quality and egg quality. When the body is healthy, the chances of successful fertilization improve, not because the race becomes faster, but because the selection process has better candidates to choose from. This is why doctors often say that fertility is not just about one moment, it's about overall health over time. The body prepares for fertilization long before it actually happens. Hormones must be balanced, cells must develop properly, and the environment must be right. When everything works together, the process can happen naturally. But when something is off, the selection becomes harder. Another fascinating detail is that even after fertilization, the process of selection continues. The fertilized egg must divide, travel, and attach in the right place. If anything goes wrong, development stops. This shows that from the very beginning, the body is constantly checking, constantly adjusting, and constantly trying to make sure that only the healthiest embryo continues to grow. When you look at fertilization this way, it becomes one of the most incredible processes in biology. It is precise, complex, and carefully controlled. It is not random, and it is not just about speed. It is about choosing the right combination at the right time in the right conditions. So the next time you hear someone say that fertilization is just a race where the fastest sperm wins, you'll know that the truth is much more interesting. It's a journey with obstacles, signals, tests, and decisions happening at a level too small to see, but powerful enough to create a new human life. Inside the body, there is no cheering crowd, no finish line, and no simple winner. There is a quiet, microscopic process where millions begin, almost all stop, a few get close, and only one is finally allowed in. Not because it was the fastest, but because it was the right one at the right moment, in the right conditions, chosen through a process that looks less like a race and more like a very careful, very selective kind of dating happening at the very start of life. And this brings us to another question that sounds simple but is actually very deep, and that is, why millions of sperm are released when only one is needed? If only a single sperm can fertilize the egg, then why does the body produce such a huge number every time? At first, this might seem wasteful or unnecessary, but when you understand how difficult the journey really is, you start to see that releasing millions is not excess. It is part of a survival strategy built into human biology. The journey from the moment sperm enter the female reproductive tract to the moment one finally reaches the egg is extremely challenging. Most sperm will never even get close, and many will stop moving within a short time. The environment inside the body is not designed to make the trip easy. In fact, it is designed to protect the body and to make sure that only the strongest and healthiest sperm can continue. Because of this, the body releases millions, not because all of them are needed, but because only a tiny fraction will survive long enough to even have a chance. One of the first obstacles sperm face is the natural acidity in parts of the reproductive tract. This acidity is important because it helps protect against harmful bacteria and infections, but it also makes survival harder for sperm. Many sperm become inactive very early because they cannot tolerate the environment. This means that right from the beginning, the number of sperm that can continue the journey becomes much smaller. Another challenge is direction. Sperm do not automatically know where the egg is. They must move through a complex path, and not all of them move in the right way. Some move in circles, some move slowly, and some move in the wrong direction. Even though millions start the journey, only a small percentage move efficiently enough to keep going. This is another reason why such a large number is needed at the start. As sperm move deeper into the reproductive tract, the environment changes again. There are narrow passages, thick fluids, and natural barriers that slow them down. These barriers are not mistakes. They are part of the body's filtering system. They help make sure that weak or damaged sperm do not continue. Only those with strong movement and proper structure can pass through. Because so many are filtered out at each step, the body needs to start with a very large number to make sure at least a few reach the final stage. Timing also plays a huge role. The egg is only available for fertilization for a limited time, and sperm cannot survive forever. Even though some sperm can live for a while inside the body, many lose their ability to fertilize the egg after a certain period. This means the body increases the chances of success by sending a large number at once, so that at least some will still be active when the egg is ready. There is also another important reason why millions of sperm are released, and that has to do with teamwork rather than competition. Even though only one sperm will fertilize the egg, the others are not useless. Many sperm help create the right conditions that allow fertilization to happen. Some help break down protective layers around the egg, making it possible for one sperm to enter. Without this collective effort, the single sperm that eventually fertilizes the egg might never get through. The outer layer around the egg is not easy to pass. It is strong and protective, and it requires special enzymes to open a path. When many sperm reach the egg, they release small amounts of these enzymes. No single sperm could do the job alone, but together they make it possible for one to succeed. This means that the large number is not just about survival, it is also about cooperation at a microscopic level. Another reason for producing millions of sperm is to increase the chance of the best possible match. Not all sperm are exactly the same. Each one carries slightly different genetic information. By releasing millions, the body increases the chance that the sperm that finally reaches the egg will be one that combines well genetically. This improves the chances of creating a healthy embryo. In this way, the large number gives the body more options, and more options mean a better chance of success. It is also important to understand that the body does not create millions of sperm all at once just for one moment. Sperm production is a continuous process. The male body produces sperm regularly, and over time large numbers build up. When release happens, it includes millions because that is the result of ongoing production, not something made only for a single event. This constant production ensures that sperm are always available when the timing is right. Even with millions released, fertilization is still not guaranteed. Many couples learn that it can take time, even when both partners are healthy. This shows how complex the process really is. The body is not just trying to make fertilization happen quickly, it is trying to make it happen correctly. The large number of sperm is one way to improve the chances, without removing the natural selection that protects the process. Another interesting detail is that sperm must go through changes before they are able to fertilize the egg. When they first enter the body, they are not fully ready. They need time in the female reproductive tract to become capable of fertilization. During this time, many sperm lose their ability to continue, and only some complete this process successfully. Because of this, starting with a large number makes sure that enough will finish this final preparation. Movement is also very energy demanding for sperm. They must keep moving for a long time, and this requires energy stored inside each cell. Not all sperm have the same amount of energy, and some run out before reaching the egg. The body cannot predict which ones will last the longest, so it sends many, knowing that only a few will have the strength to keep going until the end. There is also the factor of natural loss along the way. Some sperm become trapped in folds and small spaces inside the reproductive tract. Others attach to surfaces and stop moving. This is normal and expected. The body is built in a way that reduces the number step by step, and this gradual reduction is part of the selection process. Because of this natural loss, the starting number must be high. Scientists sometimes compare this to sending many explorers into a difficult environment, knowing that only a few will reach the destination. The goal is not for all to arrive, but to make sure at least one does. In the case of fertilization, that one sperm must be healthy, strong, and compatible with the egg. Releasing millions increases the chance that the one who succeeds is the right one. Another reason for the large number is protection against problems. Sometimes sperm quality may not be perfect, even in healthy individuals. By releasing many, the body reduces the risk that a small problem will prevent fertilization completely. It creates a backup system, where even if many sperm are not ideal, there are still enough that can do the job. Age, health, stress, nutrition, and lifestyle can all affect sperm quality. When the body produces millions, it creates a safety margin. This does not guarantee success, but it makes success more likely. Without this large number, fertilization would be much harder, and the chances of creating healthy offspring would be lower. It is also important to remember that this system developed over a very long time through natural biological processes. The body did not choose this number randomly. Over many generations, the system that worked best was the one that allowed the strongest and healthiest sperm to reach the egg, while protecting the body at the same time. Producing millions turned out to be the most effective way to balance these needs. Even though it may seem surprising, the fact that only one sperm is needed does not mean only one should be sent. The journey is too difficult, the barriers are too many, and the selection is too strict. The large number is what makes the entire process possible. Without it, the chance of fertilization would be extremely low. When people first learn this, they often realize that the body is much more careful than they thought. Instead of simply allowing any sperm to fertilize the egg, the system creates a situation where only the best one can succeed. And the best way to make sure the best one is present is to start with many. This also shows that fertilization is not about waste, it is about probability. The body is increasing the chances of success by increasing the number of attempts at the beginning, knowing that almost all of them will naturally stop before the end. This is not inefficiency, it is a strategy that has worked for humans for thousands of years. So when we ask why millions of sperm are released when only one is needed, the answer is not simple. They are needed for survival, for filtering, for timing, for cooperation, for genetic variety, for protection against problems, and for making sure that the one sperm that finally reaches the egg is not just the fastest, but the strongest, the healthiest, and the most compatible at that exact moment inside the body, where everything has to be perfectly aligned for fertilization to even have a chance to happen at all. And this naturally leads to another critical part of the process that many people overlook, and that is the importance of egg quality in successful fertilization. While a lot of attention is often placed on sperm, the egg itself plays an equally powerful role in determining whether fertilization can actually happen and whether a healthy embryo can begin to develop. The egg is not just a passive cell waiting to be fertilized. It is the largest cell in the human body and carries half of the genetic material needed to create a new life. But beyond genetics, the egg also contains the cellular machinery that will guide the earliest stages of development. In the first days after fertilization, before the embryo even begins to rely on its own genes, it depends heavily on the materials stored inside the egg. These materials include proteins, energy sources, and molecular instructions that help the first cell divisions occur correctly. When egg quality is high, these stored resources are balanced and functional, allowing the fertilized egg to divide smoothly and develop into a healthy embryo. When egg quality is lower, problems can occur very early. The embryo may divide unevenly, development may slow down, or fertilization may not happen at all. This is why egg quality is often considered one of the most important factors in reproductive success. One major influence on egg quality is age. Unlike sperm, which are produced continuously throughout life, eggs are formed before birth. A female is born with all the eggs she will ever have, and these eggs remain in the body for many years before they are released during ovulation. Over time, natural changes can affect their structure and stability. As eggs age, the delicate systems responsible for organizing chromosomes during fertilization may not function as efficiently, which can make successful fertilization and early development more difficult. But age is not the only factor that influences egg quality. Overall health plays a major role as well. Nutrition, sleep, stress levels, and general lifestyle habits can all affect the environment in which eggs develop. The body carefully prepares an egg each cycle before ovulation, and this preparation requires hormones, nutrients, and proper cellular energy. When the body is well supported, the egg is more likely to mature with strong internal structures and balanced chemistry. Hormonal balance is also essential. Hormones coordinate the growth and final maturation of the egg inside the ovary. If hormone levels are disrupted, the egg may not complete its development properly before ovulation. This can make fertilization more difficult because the egg must reach a precise stage of readiness in order to interact correctly with sperm. Another important aspect of egg quality is the outer structure that protects the egg and allows sperm to recognize it. This protective layer must be strong enough to guard the egg, but also flexible enough to allow the correct sperm to bind and enter. If the structure is not functioning properly, sperm may struggle to attach, or fertilization may not occur efficiently. Energy production inside the egg is also a key factor. The egg contains tiny structures called mitochondria that provide the energy needed for cell division after fertilization. If these energy systems are working well, the embryo can begin dividing and developing with stability. If they are weaker, the embryo may struggle to progress through the earliest stages of life. All of these factors show that fertilization is not only about sperm reaching the egg. The egg must also be healthy, mature, and fully prepared for the moment of fertilization. When egg quality is strong, it supports proper genetic combination, stable early development, and the complex series of events that transform a single fertilized cell into the beginning of a new human life.